What is your full name?
It's Leroy Jones, which my nickname is Lee.
Where and when were you born and raised?
I was born in Hyannis, Massachusetts in 1945, on November 27th.
Why did you go into the U.S. Navy and where did you enlist?
I enlisted in 1965. I had looked at my options and I felt that the Navy suited me best. So that's why I joined the Navy.
Any interesting experiences at boot camp?
No, that was boot camp. Was boot camp. We tried for color company. We didn't quite make it. We had some competition between companies and stuff like that. You're in so many flags, but we were shy about 2 or 3, I believe. So we almost made it.
What ship were you assigned to and how long were you stationed on it?
I was on the USS Storms for 3 years, and in my last 9 months I was transferred to a command and communications ship.
What was your rank on the ship?
I was an E4. I had passed all my exams except for one for E5, and it was already getting too late, so I had, when I was getting ready to leave the Navy, so I didn't quite get my E5.
What was the main job you had to do for the rate and what did it entail?
Yeah, I was what's called a shipfitter, which in today's Navy I guess is called HT, Haltech. Most of that job was multiple jobs. We did welding and fabrication. We did a lot of the plumbing on the ship. We did damage control, firefighting, all those kind of different jobs. The watches down in the fire rooms and engine rooms. We were just a typical sniper because we were all in engineering, so we were all kind of a little bit of cross training going on then.
What were your first thoughts when you saw your ship?
The first thoughts when I saw my ship, I went, well, it's gray, and to me at that time it looked big, but I wasn't intimidated, I thought it was really kind of cool looking, so yeah, I was impressed.
Where was your battle at work or workstation?
Where we located?
Yeah.
And we're in Norfolk, Virginia. That's where we're based out of, Norfolk.
Where was your berthing area?
My berthing area was back aft, opposite of supply department. However, when we went to Vietnam, we put on a full complement of crew members, and we ended up having to put 2 extra racks back in the shipfitter shop, so we'd have enough space for everybody on the ship.
Please relate any interesting stories about your time on the ship.
I'm sorry again?
Please relate any interesting stories about your time on the ship.
Interesting stories. Well, I need a couple of them, but one of them was we had a midshipman's cruise, and which is guys from the academy, and we had this thing. It's called the CBAT, and everybody. We had a bunch of crew members who were kind of in on this, little as a joke type of thing for the midshipmen. So we would be up. Our ship was very similar to this one, a little bit shorter. We still had the dash helicopters and stuff. So we had the hangar, and we had a bucket up on the deck up there in the hangar with a cover over it, and we had a couple of gunners mates up there and some deck force guys, and they would make believe that there was a bat, CBAT, if you will, in the bucket. So they call it midshipmen if they wanted to see a CBAT. So they would come up and look around, look in there, and try to see if there's something. The thing is, when they bent over, they kind of got a little surprise when they bent over to look inside the bucket, because we all had a device in our hands, so we would initiate them into the CBAT lore, if you will. So we got a little smack. And that was a fun one. Another one that was a situation we were in, we were over in Vietnam, we were doing on R&R in Hong Kong, and we had to pull up because it was because of the typhoon. And what happened was we were taking on water up in the bow, up in the anchor locker and the gear locker, which is above it. And we spent, while we're at sea, riding this thing out, being the guys in my shop, we were up there for 2 days trying to keep ahead of the water, which we couldn't do, but we kept it from getting more into the ship. So basically, we kept the ship afloat, really, that's what happened. Otherwise, we could have gone down, possibly, but we did manage to try to keep it stable anyways, if anything.
Did you see combat during the time you were on the destroyer?
Yes, we went to Vietnam in 1966. We used to do plane guide duty, following the carriers around, when they did flight operations, whatever. We would intercept Russian ships. Some of them were like I spy boats, I like to call them. We would harass them. We used to nickname them skunks, and we would harass them, much as they would harass us. But so we played with those guys a little bit. But we went into offshore Vietnam. We worked with 3 swift boats, and we did naval gunfire support, for the Marines and whatnot.
Any interesting events or missions that you would like to discuss?
I'm sorry again?
Any interesting events or missions that you would like to discuss?
I'll give you another incident of what happened. And I was young for this, but we had an actress / comedian come aboard the ship by helicopter. We were over there in Vietnam. Her name is Martha Ray. And she actually was a major in the Army and a nurse. And she always paid attention to all the troops. She actually wanted to come out and see the sailors at sea. So she came out. They flew in by helicopter, dropped it down on the flight deck. She was there with us for a couple of hours. Her and a couple of the Army guys, and then they played a little music. She cracked a lot of good jokes that that's good for sailors, and that's it. She was really good. We highlined her over to another destroyer. So that was basically a real highlight of the whole cruise over there. Seeing her.
Oh, what do you recall about your ship and the crew?
Sorry again?
What do you recall about the ship and the crew?
I don't know.
What do you remember about your ship and the crew on your ship?
Oh, I remember about them. The crew we had a great crew. It was, we were pretty tight-knit group. Even though we may not have gone on liberty together and stuff like that. However, if you were on liberty and some unforeseen circumstance happened, was a crew member or two, it seemed like anybody that was on the ship showed up to help them out. That's how good we were. We had a great gunner's mate crew, and the FT guys, all that stuff that worked together. As far as our gunfire stuff like that, we would do, and target practice and stuff. We're always on the money, always. We never fail, and we're very fast. We had a great crew. So, but overall, the whole crew was great. I can't say anything bad about it. It was super. Yep.
Many believe serving on a destroyer is a special thing. What are your thoughts about serving on a U.S. Navy destroyer?
Well, my thoughts about somebody who served on a destroyer? I think it's the real Navy. Okay? At least it is when I was in. I think it's a well-rounded ship to be on. I don't know exactly what goes on with it today. As compared to when I was in, just a long time ago. But I would think I would opt to go on a destroyer before I go on the other ship, for sure, yeah.
Why would you?
Why? I just think it's just the atmosphere. You know, it seems it's a lot different than being, because I was on a command and communication ship, like I said, and it was night and day, you know, it was night and day. We were more relaxed on a destroyer because you're a fighting ship, you know, whereas the command and communication ship, they just, command and communications is like, you know, take in information, put out information, you know, and it was like, I guess, my way of thinking, I guess it was really the way the Navy, I guess it's supposed to be, in a higher echelon type of thing, but being in a destroyer sailor, you know, it wasn't my cup of tea, so to speak, you know.
How did your service and experience affect your life?
It's really paid a lot of dividends. It really did, because at a point, obviously, you know, when you're a 17, 18-year-old kid going into the service, you have no idea what you're going to be doing, you know, what to expect, stuff like that. And, you know, you get trained pretty well, you know, in the military anyway, and probably any branch is like that. And, you know, you come out of it with a little bit of pride. You learned a lot. And I was there just for 4 years, but I learned a lot in 4 years, and I probably wouldn't have learned in a lifetime sometimes, some of the things that I've probably done. It helped me actually in my career, because initially my job was, when I got out of the Navy, was a welder. And, you know, and that's what I did, obviously, in the Navy. But then I got into construction for a bit, and then I ended up working for the Navy, you know, for the Department of Defense. And so that military mindset still was with me when I worked, you know, for the Navy, you know, so it's just a carryover, so yeah, it was great.
Why do you think it is important to preserve museum ships for posterity?
If we don't provide some history to younger generations, it's going to be lost. There's a lot of stuff that's not being taught in schools now. If there is, it's just touched upon and that's it. History is becoming, like I said, lost. And I think we need to let the younger generations know what the sacrifices were of any military, Navy, Marines, whatever it may be, know the sacrifices they've made so that they can enjoy the things that they have today.